conservative, not bitter indeed. Yes, you're listening to the Todd Huff Show. Yeah, and I am your the one and only host, Todd Huff here. America's truth, realities are, I guess you could say. It's good to be here. Thank you for joining us. Got a little bit of a different, type of show today. One of the things that we are doing is I've got a guest actually live that's going to be on here in a bit. He's a friend of mine. He's made some news here lately. We'll get to that probably later this segment and then into the second segment. But I want to start, by the way, questions, thoughts, emails, comments, even adoration and praise will be accepted. Todd@ToddHuffShow.com. But I want to start here with something we talked about yesterday. I want to start with Jen Psaki at a press conference yesterday, press briefing in the White House, being questioned by perhaps the only journalist in the room, Peter Doocy of Fox News, asking her about what we talked about on here yesterday. We talked about unemployment. We talked about how that is the reasons for it. The reasons unemployment went up last month, ticked up. We got businesses everywhere that are looking to hire folks, but yet unemployment has gone up 0.1%. Businesses are, in dire need across the board. I meet with businesses on a regular basis, and I can't even begin to tell you how many horror stories I hear as far as trying to get employees. And it runs the gamut, folks. It does. I'm sure there's some industries where maybe this isn't the case, but there are lots of folks out there, restaurants in particular. You've heard me say, if you want to eat out at restaurants, you might want to keep an eye on this because it is a real problem. Jen Psaki asked about this, Peter Doocy, acting as though this has nothing to do, the unemployment situation has nothing to do with what the government has done, nothing to do with unemployment extensions, unemployment bonuses, the dollars that are tacked on, the $300 or whatever it is a week. And this isn't a broad attack on someone filing for unemployment, but this is what happens. This is what happens when somebody, some people out of the greater pool of unemployment applicants have more of an incentive to not work than work. This is not complicated. There are some things, and I hear the left, the technocrats, we have this movement towards technocracy, which means essentially that we need to let the experts tell us how to live, and we need to dutifully oblige and get in line. This happened. A lot of this came through the form of COVID, and I'm not saying not to listen to medical professionals, but you saw a dose of this, and you saw a dose of how wrong these technocrats can be, and the cost that we pay when we blindly follow them. And yes, I probably can't say that on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, which is currently one of the places this program is broadcasting, but nonetheless, it doesn't make it any less true. Fauci told us to not wear masks. He kind of laughed at it. Then he told us to wear a mask. Now he's out there telling us to double mask it, wear goggles. Who knows what's next, right? You can possibly see your family maybe on the 4th of July if you're all vaccinated and wearing masks and socially distancing and outside or some such ridiculous thing. That's where this has gotten. The technocrats want us. They want us to just follow their instruction and advice. And they're going to study everything. They're going to tell us to follow the science, which I'm not against following the science. But how many times has science been misapplied? How many times have we been told something is the case before the science has actually been determined? You're not allowed to ask some questions. That's part of the problem here. You're not allowed to ask certain questions. You're not allowed to form certain hypotheses. You're supposed to just fall in line and listen to the technocrats and the experts. And folks, there are some things that I do not need a study for. I do not need a study to tell me that my being free is a good thing. Now, some people out there do. And it's a little terrifying to me because I think some people in this country could be persuaded that freedom isn't good because there was some study conducted, probably by the USSR for all I know, telling us that freedom's not a good thing, or that free speech isn't a good thing, religion isn't a good thing, which they're already telling us these things anyway. But if this comes in the form of a study or the experts have spoken suddenly, well, can't really ask any questions because the experts, have spoken. Well, so what? I don't care sometimes what these experts say because they are flat out wrong. How many times have you read the headline that says, experts were wrong, experts mistaken, experts are baffled by this or that? I see that on a regular basis, and it's there for anybody who wants to see it. And that's from a media that is complicit with this stuff. So it is under that, the guise of that, or setting it up, that I wanted to play a couple of sound bites here. Jen Psaki talking at this press conference yesterday to Peter Doocy, who asked the questions that were basically the things that we were saying on this program yesterday, which is one of the reasons for the unemployment tick upward is because people are not incentivized to work, and they are incentivized instead to not work. And she acts like this is unproven. There's no evidence to support this. And I would suggest you don't need evidence. If you understand human nature in the slightest, you do not need a scientific test. You don't need any evidence whatsoever to believe this, to know that this has a factor. I'm not saying it is the only factor, but it is a big, big factor. So here it is. I want you to listen to this exchange. Peter Doocy, Jen Psaki yesterday at the press briefing. Here you go.
And on the economy, so employment only rose by about 266,000 jobs in April out of 7.4 million or so job openings. How does the White House know that people are just choosing not to apply for jobs because the extra unemployment benefits are so good?
Well, first, let me say that we have looked at the data, and Secretary Yellen referred to this on Friday, or talked about this on Friday. We don't see much evidence that the extra unemployment insurance is a major driver in people not rejoining the workforce. We actually see the data, and our analysis shows that lack of vaccination, the lower rate, which is why I referred to the data and the week that it was taken, it has an impact. Child care has an impact. Schools reopening has an impact. But there is also the need to pay a livable working wage. And that's one of the reasons the president will talk about that this afternoon.
But as Bank of America economists who are cited in a Bloomberg story say, anybody making less than $32,000 a year is better off financially just taking the unemployment benefit. So is the White House creating an incentive just to stay home?
Well, again, the majority of economists, internally and externally of the White House, don't feel that unemployment insurance, something that was done at a time where to help unemployed people get through a very difficult economic downturn during a pandemic, is a major driver in our unemployment data. That there are other factors, bigger factors, that have been contributing to the numbers we saw on Friday. That's what we're working to address, and that's where we think our solution should be focused.
Last one really quick. The Commerce Secretary says the main reason that people are staying home is fear. How does the White House know that people are scared? What is that based on?
Well, I think what she was referring to is the fact that there was a much lower vaccination rate just a month ago, and that people are fearful about getting sick. They are fearful about whether they're going to have the conditions to be healthy, whether they can send their kids to a child care center, whether there is a child care center. So those are all factors that are consistent with the examples and reasons.
All right, you get the idea. And I'll say this. I'm not saying that schools not being opened doesn't factor in here, but we're getting close to the time of the year that the schools aren't open anyway. And have you noticed too that the solutions are the next Democratic wish list, some sort of government provided child care or whatever's next, whatever's on the wish list of the radical left. But to act as though there is no that the experts have gotten together and they have decided that having an incentive to stay home and make money and not work that's comparable to or greater than what you would have made in by going to work. Acting as though that has no impact whatsoever, the experts have spoken, is beyond ridiculous to me. I mean, it makes me wonder, what are the other things that the White House would not be able to put together? I mean, it's like eating 10,000 calories a day and then acting as though that had nothing to do with being overweight. It's as though sitting around and having a sedentary lifestyle has nothing to do with the deterioration of muscle mass, right? I mean, it's so obvious. Do we need to even study these things? And I'll say there's a more insidious movement here, one that's below the surface, which is moving you and I subconsciously, or at least trying to, towards technocracy, towards the idea that the government is a bunch of experts, the rest of us are a bunch of dopes. Sit down, shut up, fall in line, do what you're supposed to do. And that kind of leads a little bit here into what I want to talk about next. And I'm going to actually, Shane, my friend's on hold, Shane Williams, a member of a local town council here in my area. I'm not in Mooresville. I'm a little bit west of there, but he's in Mooresville, and he's made the media here recently. So Shane, sit tight, buddy. We'll get you next segment. I figured there's a chance of this happening, but we want to get you as much time as possible. But Shane, you've heard me say that we have problems at all levels of our government. And I mean this, at every single level. I have had the pleasure of serving on a local school board, and my eyes were open to the problems at that level. My friend Shane, who's on the phone here, he's serving as a town councilman in Mooresville, and he's introduced some legislation making Mooresville a sanctuary town for the First and Second Amendment. And I want to talk about that with him as well, but we'll do it after the break. So Shane, sit tight, my friend. We're going to take a quick time out, come back, and I want to talk about this because this is a local thing here. So sit tight, and we will be back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, Care to Change, and Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Welcome back. So, I was mentioning last segment that I've got a friend on the line, Shane Williams, town councilman in the town of Mooresville, just a little bit south and west of Indianapolis. So, Shane, are you there, buddy? Shane, can you hear me, my friend? Shane, you there, buddy? Well, I don't think Shane can hear me at the moment. So let's read here. Article I saw yesterday, Bongino. It says this: thousands of countries, counties, I should say, nationwide, saw so-called sanctuary cities springing up to defy federal immigration law and asked themselves why they wouldn't do the same to fight gun control. In just 2020 alone, over 400 local governments, mostly counties, adopted resolutions declaring themselves to be Second Amendment sanctuaries in defiance of future gun control legislation. Many resolutions are symbolic, while others specify that no government resources will be used to enforce additional gun laws. And so it's along this line that Shane, can you hear me? Shane is not, I don't know what's going on here, because this is how we do all of our interviews, and we're just having a problem here. Nothing like having live radio do this to us. But anyway, Shane has introduced a and it's passed the local town council this something similar, and I'm going to read you part of the resolution. It says this. It was just passed here I think it was last week. It says Mooresville Town Council Resolution 16-2021, whereas the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America protects 5 essential areas of individual liberty, stating that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or of abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Whereas the town of Mooresville maintains a strong commitment to supporting and protecting its residents' First Amendment rights Whereas in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak and social upheaval, the town of Mooresville observed and is alarmed by the federal government and other jurisdictions within the United States taking action to restrict First Amendment rights. And then it lists some examples that curtail religious freedoms, the cancel culture, encouraging television networks and so-called news channels to limit facts, preventing peaceably assembly. These things did happen. Dr. Fauci's not noticed that they've happened, but they have happened. And so there we go. This is what the town of Mooresville passed. It passed 4-1, making it a sanctuary town for the First and the Second Amendment. And I want to talk to Shane here about this. Let's try this. Shane, can you hear me? Well, I'm going to try here. Oh, man. Let me see if I can reestablish a connection here, and we'll try to talk to Shane here after the break. So I'm going to take an early one here, a couple minutes early. So I do apologize, but let me see if we can reconnect with Shane here and get this fixed. So I'm going to take a quick time out. It's a little early. Did not plan to do this. Shane and I were even talking here before the show, so I don't know what's happened. He can't hear me. So sit tight. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Know someone looking for a fun summer job? We're now hiring lifeguards around the Indianapolis area. Make a difference while meeting new people, build your teamwork skills, and spend time outdoors. We offer lifeguard certification classes. To find out more, go to indianapolis-pmg.com and choose the lifeguarding menu option. That's indianapolis-pmg.com.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
All right, my friends, we are back here. I don't know if we've got this connection reestablished yet with Shane or not. We have tried here to reestablish this. This was working, and now it's not. Shane, can you hear me?
Yes, Todd, I can.
Look at that. I have no idea what happened there, Shane. All right, well, good. I thought we were off this possibility, and I wanted you to share what's going on. So you're a member of the town council in the great town of Mooresville. So tell our listeners what you've introduced here and what's passed the town council. We've talked a little bit. I know we had some audio problems on the backside here, but I was sharing with the audience that there's some movements with towns and cities, municipalities to pass First and Second Amendment sanctuary town and city legislation. Explain what it is and why you did that.
Well, first of all, it's good to talk about it on a station called Freedom, isn't it?
That's right.
But yes, we introduced this the other day, a week ago today, and basically what it does is there's two resolutions that make Mooresville a sanctuary town for the First and Second Amendment, and we are the first town in the state to do that. Not the first municipality. There's been counties to do that, but we are the first town to do it. And actually, I didn't realize that until the night of the meeting. But it was basically a response to our taxpayers here in town that see what's going on the national level and are worried about the loss of their fundamental freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution. So basically, the resolution is a formal declaration that takes a vote by the council to say that we support the First and Second Amendment. They quote the amendments within the document. And on the Second Amendment one, they also quote the state constitution as well for the right to bear arms. So we refer back to those statements in our constitutions, both federal and state, and then we say what we will do and won't do in regards to those amendments.
So what's been, I guess, the feedback that you have gotten from, I guess I'll ask first with maybe the voters, the people in the town who elected you, and then what kind of support or, I don't know, opposition have you gotten from other Republican leaders?
Well, from the townspeople themselves, and that's who I care about, we've had a lot of positive feedback. And quite frankly, I don't think I've ever had a single issue generate as much positive feedback, both in messages, social media likes, that sort of thing, phone calls, texts, emails, that kind of thing. And then just walking down the streets in town, being in a small town, a lot of the people, and they come up to you when you're walking through. Been overwhelmingly positive. I think at worst, it's been an 80-20 positive response. 80% seem to be really happy with it. It could be as high as 90%. It just seems like there's a lot of people that are really happy. They're really fed up with what they see on the national level, and they want their freedoms supported. They want to know where their politicians stand. I will say I've been disappointed with local party officials. I haven't seen a single state representative or our party chairman here in Morgan County, or really any other local politicians come out in support of it on their social media sites or in the newspapers yet. And I think it's a real problem. I think people should ask their officials where they stand on these important issues and get them on the record. But yeah, it's been disappointing there. You know, they will take their pictures with their NRA cards or shooting guns or something like that, but then when the rubber meets the road, they're silent.
So why do you, I guess, why would, and there may be reason, like maybe someone would say, hey, you know, this is already in the Constitution, we don't need to do anything, you know, about it, and why are we making this fuss? You're making your grandstanding. Of course, none of this stuff's ever said about the left. They can have sanctuary cities, and we can totally ignore the rule of law and so forth there and the erosion of the Constitution. But is that the opposition, or is there something else going on, Shane?
You know, I really don't know. If that is the opposition, then you have a bunch of conservatives that sound like leftists to me, and I think people should question why they're in the party they're in. But yeah, I mean, if that is one of the arguments that, well, it does nothing, then why are you so worried about nothing? That you won't say anything. You know, it's kind of a funny argument to me. But there's resolutions for a reason, and they're used for a reason by statute, and it's to make a formal declaration via a formal vote. So I'm not sure, Todd. I really am not sure.
Because they haven't.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing to me. You know, we're supposed to be the party of freedom, the party of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, even freedom of the press, and still nothing. Certainly the freedom to defend yourself, the right to bear arms, and nothing from these local people. And I don't know where they're at, but I can tell you this: I think it's a big mistake. The public is dying to know where we stand on these issues. And matter of fact, the idea came from them. You know, I've interacted with a lot of my constituency throughout the campaign and throughout the last year and a half when I've been on the council, and there is a certifiable and justifiable angst amongst people who are worried about what these federal politicians say about their rights.
So you ran, what's it been, a couple of, you were elected in what year, Shane?
My campaign was in 2019, so my first day in office was in January of 2020.
Okay, so then you hadn't run for any other office. So I guess, what are some things that have been, I guess, eye-opening to you, serving, or the things that you have learned, the problems that you have uncovered? Because I say on here, and I stand by it, that our problems in government, we talk about national politics. I think that's something that's important to me. I followed this a long time, but there are local things too, and these things trickle down. And there are some really dangerous ideas, and there's some really bad practices. And they take all different shapes and sizes. But what are some of the things, I guess, in general, that you've run into or uncovered locally that may be happening in towns and cities and school boards and all these different places across the country?
Well, I think some of the same issues that you see federally are local too. There's sort of this idea that politicians put a lot of pressure on themselves to agree. So when you look at votes, just take the voting record. Prior to 2020, our local council voted 5-0 almost every vote. That tells you that they're deciding things before it gets on the council, outside of the public purview. And that's really not what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to see a little bit of debate. Ideas aren't supposed to be killed behind closed doors. And so sometimes they don't like it when you bring up new ideas. And even in the case of this, First and Second Amendment sanctuary, there was some opposition even amongst Republicans on the council. And, to me, it was very, very easy to reaffirm or just publicly affirm that I support the Constitution. We say that in our oaths, and no one makes a controversy there. But, when you do something new or you come up with a new idea that they didn't come up with, sometimes people get upset. And so that's part of it. I think you also have a lot of pressure from your local party. So if you don't cater to that, I try not to put the party above the people I represent. I don't represent the party. I represent the people that I work for. And so sometimes you find that party, concerns or party pressures are counter to what your public wants. And I stand up to that. In my view, I really try not to succumb to that. And that makes people mad. The other thing, if you criticize anybody publicly, and I try to be not personal about it, I try to criticize what I think is bad public policy, they still take it personally, and they kind of shun you. And it's really sad that it's so hard to stand up for what people actually want rather than what the appearance of what the politicians want. They always want agreement and things to look good rather than to actually do what the public wants. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but those are some issues that I see.
So one more question. So one of the things I get asked, I would say probably the most, I would think it's up there, is this question that is, what can I do, right? As some just average Joe, conservative, constitutionalist out there in, any town USA. What can I do? I see these things happening around me. I don't like them, but I feel kind of powerless. I don't, maybe they've tried to get plugged into the party. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they've, started to build a social media following. Maybe they just genuinely don't know what to do. Maybe they've entertained running for office. You've done a couple of these things that I just alluded to, I guess. What did you do? And because you've developed a very powerful voice in this community, and I mean, it comes with sometimes you take some heat, and sometimes you get a groundswell, and you always have the followers who are just all about what you're doing. So what would you recommend to someone who's out there trying to say, I've had enough of this. I just, where do I turn? What do I do? What did you do? Or what would you recommend that they look into doing?
Well, the first thing is, I think, have a mindset that you want to improve your town. Don't go into it with a personal vendetta against one person or against, something that's of self-interest to you. Look at it from the town's perspective first. Get that in your mind. Then the first thing I would do is what I did, which is start attending public meetings. They're open to the public. You have an opportunity to watch how your government interacts with itself, and you start learning how the procedures work. And to be fair, sometimes you learn why things don't happen as quickly or why things can't happen as quickly too. But that's the first thing. Then the second thing is identify problem areas. When I first started attending public meetings, we had a redevelopment commission at the time, which is now largely replaced. 4 of the 5 members are new. But at the time, they were not taking public comment. Sometimes the law doesn't require what's right. And so they had charge of millions of our dollars and weren't even taking public comment. And I fought for that, and just as a person, and basically I saw how little input the taxpayers really had and how much was being done behind closed doors and how little was making it to the public purview. And so I just started attending, and I see big things like that, and raise awareness through social media and just started reporting back to the public on my social media, just my personal page. And I raised awareness, and through that experience, some people in the government tried to get rid of me, tried to intimidate me. That doesn't work very well for me. So I got mad enough and ran, and I did it because I wanted to help my town through new transparency, communications, public input. It's their money. They should have input. And so that's how I started, was just attending the meetings and learning as much as I could. The last thing I would say is always go to the documents. You can do public access requests even in your towns, and go to the documents. Make sure what you think is going on is what's really going on. And always try to give the public the facts. Don't rely on emotion. Give them facts about what's going on. And then people trust you, and your voice grows with that earned trust.
Well, you've done a lot, and I think that those are wise words and advice that should be heeded by those who want to step up and to get involved in local politics. And Shane, you and I have been friends and known each other for a number of years now, and folks may not always agree, but I mean, I think that the way that you're going about this has actually brought a lot of things to light that wouldn't have been known had you not been doing it. So I appreciate what you do, and appreciate standing up for these freedoms, these liberties, the Constitution, which it's very important. These things are under constant assault by enemies of the Constitution, people who don't like this country is founded. And these enemies are everywhere, nationally, at the state level, and even locally. So I do appreciate it very much, Shane. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me on, and let freedom ring throughout Mooresville and the state of Indiana and the country.
Amen, my friend. That's Shane Williams. He is a member of the town council, the town of Mooresville, who recently passed 4-1, I think was the vote, sanctuary town for the First and the Second Amendment. He's a friend of mine, and I appreciate having him on the program. So sit tight. We'll be back here in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. With so many societal changes, everyone's talking about apprenticeships and college debt. Businesses seek employees with practical problem-solving skills. Visit apprentice.university to learn about our demanding academics and paid apprenticeships in excess of tuition. No debt, in-demand skills, Christian community.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
Not again! There's never any hot water left for my shower. Everyone else gets a nice long soak and I'm left with ice water. I'm calling Commercial Service about their latest offer on tankless water heaters. I can save up to $800 on an installation. No more cold showers for me.
Call the partner you can trust. Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service. Commercial grade service for your home.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Welcome back. By the way, this program brought to you in part by our friends at White's Innovative Glass. White's Innovative Glass, family-owned, operated, offering commercial glass services throughout the state of Indiana, specializing in commercial glass installation, repair, and replacement services for a variety of custom glass features. I've gotten to know Caleb there, and he is a great guy. They do good work, and again, White's Innovative Glass. White'sInnovativeGlass.com is the website. Check them out if they might be able to help you or someone that you know. So that was a little bit different, right? We haven't really done live. Most of our interviews I do pre-recorded because we're a little bit early here, and I don't want to inconvenience the guest too much. Figured I could do that with Shane. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought it was, some of these things, it's something that I had thought about doing, and I thought it would be a good idea to have him come on, and sometimes it's just better. And we're going to do this stuff more frequently as we continue to grow and develop. So I appreciate having Shane on the program, and I appreciate people all around the community, the state, the nation who are standing up for the Constitution and for liberty. And I understand some folks don't necessarily like it or feel comfortable, but it's important. I don't know if some people really grasp or understand the level of hatred that some people have towards our founding documents. I mean, the thing is, you don't have to look very hard. That's what's puzzling to me. I don't know if some folks just get in a comfort zone or what it is, or think that there's not a nonstop, relentless attack on freedom. There is. There really is. And we've got to be willing to stand up for it and to be proud of it, because the Constitution is a great document that has made this nation what it is today. So, got to take a time out. Talk to Shane a little bit longer than I anticipated, but that was good. So I appreciate having him on. Be back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's conservative, not bitter university is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's First Course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 down, back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats. Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
All right, my friends, I appreciate it very much. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate the feedback on Shane. Appreciate just just the whole journey for me has been quite remarkable because of you. And we've got some things happening that I'm getting a little bit eager to tell you about, but there's nothing to tell just yet. But some good things happening, and you all of course make that possible. I'm grateful. So thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful day, and remember SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit indydentalsleep.com.